The goal achieved. Front runner for my team, my duty for my family. Woke up thinking about.
Yo, what is up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video, and today I'm bringing you the top 10 Warzone loadouts in Rebirth and Big Island. Now, it does suck that a lot of nerfs hit our meta weapons, but there are new metas brought into light because of this update, and I will be showing you all of them in this video. Now, if you are new here, please hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss another video. And if you guys do want to see me using these meta loadouts, please comment down below and I will make a video of showing every single meta loadout I made in this video. Now, without further ado, let's jump right into it. Now, starting us off, we have the STG-44, obviously by far one of the best ARs in the game. There's only one that matches with it, and that'll be later. Now, for the muzzle, we have the Quartermaster Suppressor. That'll probably be on every single loadout. It's just the best muzzle in the game right now. This helps with the gun kick control as well as the recoil control. And then for the barrel, we have the Bruin Crooks Heavy Barrel. Helps with bullet velocity and range. And then for the optic, I like the Jack Class's optic. Really, it doesn't matter. It's just your feel. You can go with any of them. For the magazine, we have the 50-round drum, obviously. And then for the stock, we have the DR79 combo stock. That'll help with the gun kick control as well as recoil control. And the aim stability. Show this in the firing range. Absolutely melts. Don't mind that aim at the end. That was better. Alright, now for the recoil pattern. It is this. So if I start here. Really, it's just up and to the right, and then it starts to move to the left, and it ends right here. So really, when you're shooting it, you want to aim, you want to move your right stick down to the left just a little bit, not a lot. Because if you move it too much, you're just going to go like this. So you want to just a little bit. That'll help at longer ranges as well as the shorter ranges. Just increase your accuracy with this gun a lot more. Now, with the SMG matched up with this, I do have the static HV. And we have the Quartermaster Suppressor for the muzzle, obviously. Like I said, it's the best muzzle in the game. Then for the barrel, we have the Auger 840 light barrel. This will help with all your mobility. Now, for the underbarrel, we do have the paracord grip. By far, my favorite underbarrel. Because it helps with the horizontal recoil. And then it also helps with the sprint to fire speed, aiming idle sway, and the aim walking steadiness. And then for, okay. So there's two ways you can go with this. You can use an optic if you want. Or you can move on to a laser. And I'd go with the quick fire laser. Just because it helps with the ADS speed. But in my opinion, I like using a optic more, and I use the slate reflector optic for this. Now, with the stock, you can also go two ways. You can either go with the Spire 34 light stock, which helps your mobility, or you can go with a no stock, which increases mobility even more. But there is a huge recoil control drop off and your accuracy drop off. But if you are very confident in your aim, I definitely go with the no stock. Now here's this in the firing range. It absolutely melts. This is the best SMG in the game. Now for the recoil pattern, it is basically almost straight up. It fades a little off to the right, but not a lot. So really just hold down on the D-pad when you shoot it. So it's just gonna go straight up. And now moving on, we have the BAL-27. Obviously for the muzzle, we're going with the Quartermaster Suppressor. For the barrel, we have the Crown H3 barrel, which increases bullet velocity by a lot and the range by a lot. For the underbarrel, obviously we have the paracord grip, my favorite underbarrel. And then for the magazine, we have the 60 round mag. And then for the stock, we do have the Ardent tech stock, which helps with the gun kick control a lot, as well as the firing aim stability and recoil control. I showed this in the firing range. It absolutely melts. This is probably the most underrated AR in the game right now. It absolutely just melts. Now, for the recoil pattern, it is almost straight up. Like, it fades a little to the right, but it's not a whole lot. Just basically straight up. So just down on the D-pad when you shoot this, just like the static HV. Now onto the SMG, we have the FJX HORUS. An amazing close range SMG. Now, there is 2 ways you can do it, and I will show you both. So first off, we have the quartermaster suppressor matched up with the Ruse 90 light barrel, which helps with your mobility a lot and your handling. And then for the underbarrel, we have the Kimura Seraphic vertical grip, words are hard to say sometimes. That helps with your gun kick control and your recoil control, but it also helps with movement speed. So mobility also goes up. And then obviously we want the 60 round drum for those fully plated opponents that we're facing. And then for the stock, we have the Ripper light stock. Show this in firing range, and then I'll show you variant number 2 that you can use on this. Now, really, it's just a close range. You do not want to go, like, here is pushing it, but mainly just it's close range. It's a close range gun. Now, for the recoil pattern, it is like all over the place. Like, it starts here and goes left, and that's basically all to the right, and it just goes back and forth like this. But really, it's just holding down on. You want to hold down and to the left on your D-pad, and that'll help your accuracy a lot with this gun. Yeah, really, it's just a close range. You don't really want to be using it at medium ranges. But the mobility is really good with this. Now, for variant number 2 that you can use with this, it is the conversion kit. And then you want to, obviously, you want the Kimura vertical grip. But for, you do want to run a laser, the quick fire laser. It absolutely melts. There's little recoil. It's very, very good at close range and long range. This is like the AR variant of it, but it's also very good at close range. Obviously, my aim isn't the best. I don't really... Usually I don't use this at long range. I just use that medium to short. Long range pushing it, but it absolutely melts. Now for the, obviously the spread, very little recoil. So yeah, there's very little recoil. So it's just down on the move, down on the right stick a little bit. Yeah, very little. Super easy control. The mobility's not too bad with it. Now moving on, we have the TAC Eradicator. For the muzzle, obviously we have the quartermaster suppressor. For the underbarrel, we have the paracord grip. For the barrel, we have the Conquer 70 long barrel, which will help with bullet velocity and range. And then for the rear grip, we have the FSS combat grip, which will help with the gun kick control and recoil control, as well as our firing aim stability. Now for the stock, we have the TAC Vert core stock, which will help with the gun kick control, as well as the recoil control a little bit. And then, obviously, we don't need a mag because we already have 75 rounds in it because it is an LMG. Now, this is the gun I was talking about that competes with the STG-44. It is just absolutely insane at long ranges. I'll show you here in the firing range. Now, the mobility is not very good, obviously, because it is an LMG and it's meant for long range, but it absolutely shreds. Now, for the recoil pattern, it's kind of straight up and to the left, so you want to hold down to the right a little bit. So really, this is just, it shreds at long range. It is probably up there with STG 44 in my opinion. Now, moving on to the SUPERI 46. Obviously, can't make a video without it. It's still an insane gun, even after the nerfs. We have, obviously, for the muzzle, the quartermaster suppressor. Now, for the underbarrel, I did change it up with the DR6 hand stop to help that mobility. And then, obviously, you want the 40-round mag. And then for the rear grip, you do want the phantom grip, because it will help your mobility a lot and your sprint to fire speed. And then, I personally go with the no stock, but you can also go with the jack cutthroat. But to maximize your mobility, I go with the no stock. It is it's very quick. And it still shreds. Still shreds at short and medium range. Obviously, you don't want to use it long range. I'm not even going to try, because I'm not confident in my ability to hit my shots that far. But here is the spread for it. It is up and to the right a little bit, so you want to hold down the left on D-pad when you shoot to increase your accuracy. As I say that, I miss all my shots, but it's to increase your accuracy as much as you can. Now, moving on with the Kar 98K class. For the muzzle, we have the Sonic Suppressor L. That'll help with your bullet velocity and damage range. Then for the barrel, we have the 7.62 long barrel, which will also help with your bullet velocity and your damage range a lot, which will help you with how this class is set up, because this is mobility. This is a mobility sniper class. This will help with getting your opponents one shot with an SMG if you hit them in the head. Now, obviously, to the body, it's gonna be you're not gonna get them to one shot, but it'll still do a lot of damage. Now, obviously, for the ammunition, you want the high grain rounds. The optic, I go with the SBX 86.6. Now, a lot of people like the range collar because it's exactly like the one in Warzone 1. Now, I go with the no stock to increase your mobility. And then this is how it is in the firing range. It isn't one shot to the head, but it does crack to the body, which I believe it leaves you 2 hit with an SMG after you with a body shot. Obviously, I'm not going to show you the spread because there is no spread, but one shot to the one shot crack to the head, and that'll leave you with a 1 shot with an SMG if you switch. But the mobility for a sniper, this is pretty good. Now, onto the SMG, we have the Striker no recoil build. Now, obviously, you want to go with the quartermaster suppressor, the Striker recon long barrel, which will help your bullet velocity and range. Okay, I actually got rid of it, but the DR6 hand stop, the underbarrel, which will increase your mobility and your handling. And then obviously you want the 48-round mag for all those plated up opponents. And then you want for the stock, you want the LACHMANN Recon Series stock. This will help with your gun kick control as well as your recoil control. It absolutely shreds. Like, almost no recoil. Absolutely melts still. Now here's the spread. It is up and then to the right. So what you want to do is you want to hold down on your D-pad and a tad to the left, just to increase your accuracy even more. But that is the Striker no recoil build. Now moving on, we have the HOLGER 5.56 build. Still one of my favorite ARs in the game. A lot of people move from using it, but I still like using it. Now, for the muzzle, obviously we have the quartermaster suppressor. That's not a surprise. Still the best muzzle in the game, and I will keep saying that until they nerf it. Now, for the barrel, we have the Cryo 6 match. That'll help with your bullet velocity and range, as well as your recoil control. And then for the underbarrel, we have the paracord grip. Not a surprise there. And then for the magazine, we have the 40 round mag. And then for an optic, I have the jack glassless optic. Now, if you don't want to use an optic, you can go with this stock. And you'd want to go with the RB Adult Assault stock. That'll help with your recoil control and your gun kick control. Show this in the firing range. Still shreds. Still an absolute unit. There is recoil on it, so obviously look at the spread. Spread goes up and to the right. So you want to hold your right stick down to the left when you shoot to increase your accuracy even more. Now moving on to the SMG, I do have the LACHMANN SHROUD. Obviously, the LACHMANN SHROUD is absolutely insane right now. It is one of the meta SMGs in the game, in my opinion. And I just had to show it. So for the underbarrel, we do have the DR6 hand stop. For the ammunition, we have the 9mm sub OP. And that'll help with damage a lot. Really, these are okay to use, but in my opinion, the sub OPs are better. For the magazine, we have the 40 round mag, and then obviously you want the jack decimator conversion kit. And then for the laser, we have the quick fire laser, just to help with your ADS speed. Now, for the magazine, you can go with the 50 round drum, but I like going with the 40 for that, for your mobility. And this absolutely shreds at close range. Your mobility is still pretty good with it, even with all the attachments we put on. Because obviously this isn't going to be the quickest SMG loadout you're going to get. But for the LACHMANN SHROUD, it is absolutely insane. Because it melts. Now, for the recoil pattern, it is up and to the right, so you want to hold down to the left on the D-pad when you shoot to increase your accuracy to the best you can. Obviously, you're not going to be shooting at long range because I'm not confident that I can hit all the way back there with this, so I'm not even going to try. Now, moving on to the bonus loadout that I'm giving you guys, I have the SVA 546, and I have the quartermaster suppressor with that, and then the STV precision long barrel, which will help your bullet velocity and range, and your recoil control, and your gun kick control. And then for the munitions, we have obviously the 545 high green rounds. For the mag, you want the 60 round mag. Obviously, you want to go with the highest you can. And then I use the optic, the jack glasses optic, obviously. Now, you can get rid of the optic and put an underbarrel on there, and I'd recommend putting the paracord grip on there if you do that. But here it is in the firing range. It absolutely melts. There is a little bit of recoil to it. So here it is. Here's the pattern. This one is up and to the left, so you want to hold down to the right when you shoot. Now, anytime you try out a new gun or a new class in general, even if it's a gun you've used before, you always want to take it into the firing range and check their recoil pattern. That'll help increase your accuracy a lot, especially in games if you know exactly what the recoil pattern is, because then you can counter it by holding the right stick to whatever direction you need to. absolutely just shreds. Now for the SMG build, it really isn't an SMG. It's actually the MCW with the conversion kit, the Jack Raven kit. Now, I've heard a lot of good things about it, so I really wanted to just try it out, and it absolutely melts. Obviously, we have the Quartermaster suppressor for the muzzle. We have the DR6 hand stop for the underbarrel for that mobility. And then we have the 40-round mag, obviously. I wish we could go higher. It'd be absolutely insane if you could put a 60-round drum on it, but the highest we can go is the 40. And then for the stock, we have the Jack Cutthroat stock to help with your mobility. Now, you could go with a different stock to help with the recoil control. You could go with the recoil heavy stock, but really this is an SMG build, so you want it quick. So I go with the Jack Cutthroat. And here it is in the firing range. It's absolutely insane. It absolutely melts. Like, even a little bit longer ranges, it absolutely melts. The recoil is not that bad on it, and it's easy to counter. It's just one of the best builds right now. It is up and to the right like most guns, so you want to hold down to the left when you're shooting it. It is an insane build to run, especially on Rebirth and even big map, just because it can hit those long range kills. It can get those long range kills as well as the short range. The mobility is really good with it, so it's kind of like, it's a hybrid. It's an SMG AR hybrid, because you can hit short range and then that long range. If I didn't run out.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face, tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.